Hope y'all are doing good. Welcome to the D Point. It's already 2023. Let's jump into multiverse of madness and let's try that we are in an alternate dimension where I am trying to create a business. Okay, so the first thing that I do is I just list out what is it that I want to do in each phases. So that phases could be the beginning phase, managing phase, growing phase, and the future vision phases. Okay, now I just write out what is it that I want to streamline, what are all the process that is going to be involved in each of the phases of the business. Okay, now to cope up with the technology, to cope up with the competition, the next thing that I want to do is automate everything. Okay, and when I was trying to see what are all the things that I need to first streamline, okay, what is it that I need to automate, what is it that I need to streamline, so I was just listing down all those phases. Okay, few of them maybe I can share you. It can be basically lead generation, which is used for customer acquisition, and let's say I'm hiring. Okay, then I'll be doing employer onboarding, employee onboarding. Okay, and then I would be using customer feedback forms. I would be using workflows for various things, be it like approval workflows for task management, for change management. Basically all these are just an example, right? So for all these things, if I want to streamline, I need to find out what is that core piece that I need to automate here, right? So after doing so much analysis, what I see is the core of all this is forms. It's straightforward, simple. Unnecessary will not make it complex. It's heart of all these things is form. So I was trying to find out what are all the platforms where I can use the form and maybe try to automate all these things. So we are not that much technical. The first thing that comes to our mind, the very ancient technique is Google Forms, basically. Yeah, so in Google Forms, if I can use it, I can do all this. Let's try to spend some time on it. So the first thing is creation of the forms. So when I try to create the forms, I see that it is allowing me to create various types of attributes of the forms. It is allowing me to create various validations, but it is not sufficient for me. Okay, so now there are so many complex things that I want to add in the form. Okay, apart from the validation, I need to create so much custom script. Okay, just in the form creation itself, there are so many limitations that I see in the Google Forms. So that is first limitation. Now second limitation, let's say I created the form. Now to which group of users should I give this form to fill? I can say like this is a DL. I cannot say because I don't have the customers this thing, right? So if I want to give it to a specific piece or specific customer base, I cannot do that. Okay, now let's say now I'm giving it to public. The third thing is they are going to fill it, and then this is going to come back to me. Let's say 1,000 people filled it. Okay, and I am getting it. So as how will I deal with that 1,000 forms? Okay, so there should be something which can help me with out of this 1,000 requests, which should go to which department, which should go to which department, and what is the correction needs to be done before it comes to me for the final approval. So there are so many things involved which are like I cannot do from the Google Forms. Okay, and then comes the final thing, which is the analysis piece. Let's say I can see that I do have various visualizations and analysis available at the end of once people are submitting the Google Forms, right? But those are again not sufficient. It's just that we have a basic analysis to be done, and that's what I can use Google Form for. But that is very limited and we cannot use it in the enterprise applications or business level applications, right? So then the second thing, what other options do we have? So if you go to alternative.io, we can just write what are the alternatives of this tool and we can get certain list of tools just like Microsoft Power Automate. But there is limitation in multiple such tools that I have explored, and four limitations I have discussed, right? And one of the major limitations that we can say is we need to associate this form with some workflow to automate, to automate a process, or we can say to streamline a process. Let's say you let's say we go to a website, okay, and there is a customer grievance form and customer is filling. Now based on the keywords, I want to identify whether it's a sales related grievance, whether it's a product related grievance, or whether it's what kind of department related grievance. So then as soon as I request, my workflow should be able to decide it should go to whether department 1, department 2, or department 3. If there is any more notifications required, it needs to be sent to the particular customer, and then the discussion should start and need to be seen what rectification needs to be done, what is the rectification that can be automated again, and if nothing, then it should be escalated, there should be an SLA. Okay, so all these things are just an example of what could happen in a workflow. So these all limitations together, I want to find a platform where I can do all these things in one platform. Okay, now this is the basic requirement, but apart from that, I want user management, group management, analytics, workflow creation, workflow association, form interaction, creating of the form. So all these things, I don't want to spend my time. My time is very crucial. I want to focus on my business. I don't want to spend in integrating all the services myself. Okay, and I want all these things in one platform, and it should be low code. Okay, I should not spend my complete time in doing something which is already available in bits and pieces here and there. And I want someone to maintain it, create it, make it cooler look, make it up to date. I want the complete platform to be ready, and now I should use it. That's what I want. So when I was looking for all these platforms, then I came across a platform called Formsflow.ai. So what is Formsflow.ai? So if we see, it's a low-code form automation platform which is mainly focused on creating business-ready enterprise application. Okay, now of course it is available open source, it is available in the premium version, it is available in the cloud, but we'll hold on that topic for a minute. First we'll try to explore this tool and then we'll jump on back to that topic. Okay, so what the tool is, we understood. Okay, that it has something to do with form, it has something to do with automation. Let's see what is the features of it, because the features is what makes the tool define itself, right? So if I just simply hover on the features in the Formsflow.ai website, I can see it's a low code form builder tool. So it is using Flutter's drag and drop, and it is providing us complex attributes that we discussed just now, like captcha or derived attribute. So all those things which is not available for us on the other platforms, it is using Bpmn.io, and it is giving us a UI or module where we can simply drag and drop complex different category of attributes and create the form. Okay, then we have powerful workflow engine. So just now we discussed creating the form is one thing, but it should be associated with the workflow. That is where the automation is happening, is on a that is where automation is happening. A lot of workload is getting down from our head, and it is taken care by the workflow. The second thing here is, because of the workflow, uh, everything is streamlined, specific, and easy maintenance can be done, and whatnot can we do with the workflow. So many automation which we discussed in the previous videos, and we are going to use Formsflow.ai further to make use of workflow, and we'll see what all use cases in real time we can do as well. Okay, then we have analytics dashboard. So Formsflow.ai is providing us analytics by making use of the redash. Now what are all features we have in the redash, and how we like what is the use case, everything we are going to go in depth in detail in the coming videos in the same series of playlists. This video is just an overview of what is Formsflow.ai and what are all available options is there for us, how we can proceed further, and all such insights you can get from this video. So the third feature that we see is analytics dashboard. Again, I need not to spend even a second to separately integrate, install, set up, nothing, everything just by installing Formsflow.ai. Okay, and the fourth is identity management. This is where we are dealing with authentication, authorization, user management, group management. The same thing we can use for login purposes. For when we are creating the workflow, we can assign the task to a group. So even in the workflows, we can use the same thing. So we are going to see how we can create users, manage groups, create groups, and all such in the identity management. So Formstar.ai is making use of OpenCloak, which is going to help us with the security and this identity management. Next, we have robotic process automation. So as we have seen previously, we have worked on UiPath, we have worked on RPA. So how the bots are helping us, or how, in simple words, the automation. Okay, and then yes, world-class security and mobile application, the compatibility, and all these things we are going to go in depth each module for each real-time use case scenarios. Okay, so I hope with these features we can define the platform very easily, and we are going to explore more solutions and just to see, okay, all these features are there, but how can I validate? So this is used by both public sector, private sector. Just to give a real-time scenario, it is used in the public sector by the government of Canada, and it is used in the private sector by Bpmn. These are just two examples. We have a list going on, but yeah, so based on that we can see it is approved by government. It is live running with both private and public sector. So how much crucial it can play a role in terms of our enterprise application. Now one thing which I fear a lot is migrations. Okay, so if I see it is making use of the KPI called workflow. That workflow is using Camunda as an integration tool. Now when we are defining the workflows, we are following the Bpmn 2.0 standard. So what does that mean? When we are following such standard, it is very easy to migrate from workflow to different workflow. That is one more thing which I think with this tool I can resolve in terms of migration. So now we are going to jump on the practical of how to use what all modules it available, what is the UI looks like, what are all different modules UI will look like. We are going to jump into that phase. Now before we jump onto the platform, I just want to highlight the practical that we are going to do, or I am showcasing as part of this video, is the open source ones. Means you can go to GitHub and you can search for Formsflow.ai. So if you can see, it is a group AOT Technologies which is creating a tool called Formsflow.ai. So they have multiple tools. We are now focusing on a tool called Formsflow.ai. So you can play around with this. This is open source. You can play it free, of course, right? But yeah, that was open source version. But coming to premium versions, let's say I don't want to spend even any amount of my time on it. Okay, I want you to design workflows from me. I want the team to create or customize the application, or I want the team to create fulfill the requirement of my business, so they are ready to do it. You just need to click on the services, and we can see support services available. So either you want the product to be customized, or either want the complete solution to be built which is relevant or specific to our business use case, we can ask for them. Now second thing is, I want to maintain my own team, but I want you to train it. Definitely they are going to do it that for us. And in generic, okay, if you have any queries, either you can put it on the GitHub, Stack Overflow, or you can put it in the comment section. If not, you can directly reach out to them. So if I scroll down, you can find this form where you can fill all the whatever details you want, and you can just reach out to them. So in the premium version, that is one of the benefit that we are getting, that completely they can do it for us, including the setting up of the hosting server, running the application for us end to end. So we can call it as a software as a service. So all the integrations, everything we are getting in a one build. Okay, so now what is it that we are going to do in the practicals? Let's see. So I see build your form in few easy steps. Okay, so the first step is get Formsflow.ai. Of course, we can download it in multiple different ways. So that's why in this video I already downloaded it at one place. Now how you can do it, what are all different options we have available, that we will have a dedicated separate videos, so that we can explore all the options separately. Okay, now as of in this practicals, I've already downloaded, installed and started. Okay, so the second thing that we are going to do is design custom forms. So we are going to see how the UI is going to look like, how the drag and drop looks like, what are all the complex variable that is available that we talked about, what comes under premium and open source. And then once we create the form, what is the KPI? We need to associate it with the workflows, right? Now that workflows could be Bpmn, could be DMN, right? Now we have seen in our previous Camunda tutorials how we were creating the workflows, and we were using the standard Bpmn 2.0, keeping it on the Camunda workflow. So how we can upload, how does our platform knows about the workflows, all that we are going to see in a minute. And then design workflows. So yeah, we are going to have a dedicated, again based on the use case that you are suggesting or based on the use case that I'll come up. So then we are going to create a workflow, but as of this video we are going to use the existing workflow. But just to be on the understanding level, you can create Bpmn and you can upload the files in bunch or in one file at a time, up to us. Okay, now finally you created the workflow. Okay, you created the form, you associated both of them. What is the use? When you give it to the client group, or when you give it to the client page to submit the form, then it is going to, we are going to make use of form analytics. So I'm going to show you what are all analytics we can do, how does a redash UI looks like, but again we are going to have it in a dedicated video. So with that mentioned, let's jump onto the practicals. So this is the first page that looks when we open Formsflow.ai page. It is asking us to sign in. Now here throughout the tutorial you can see any queries that you have. If it is already resolved, how you will get it to know? You can go to resources, you can see architectures, tutorial, support, community and everything. You can post your queries here, and if you want to see what is the latest versions, you can see this release notes, and I have gave few examples, right, where this application is being used. So you can study few more case studies, and when you are giving me the use case, right, you can see just as an help in the product, no sorry, in the solutions, you can see in what all departments it is being used, in what all industry it is being used. Just spend your time, explore it, try to understand how others are using it, so you can decide how you can use it, and then you can post your queries if it is not answered anywhere. So first I will log in with the username and password given to me by default for the available roles. So what are the roles that are available? The client role, designer role, approver, reviewer. So all these roles we have, and later on using the key clock, if you want, we can create more groups and assign privileges accordingly. So as of now, the username that I have is Formsflow designer. Okay, and the password and sign in. Password is basically change me. Okay, now these three things that we see on the header is because of the privileges that I as a designer am having. So my name is whatever my name is, I am part of a group which is having design privileges. So that is how group management is becoming easy. Okay, so as of now whatever I am seeing is because of the privileges that the designer group is given. Okay, so first thing we see is create form or upload form. Now because this is open source version, I can upload only one form at a time. If it is a premium version, I can upload bunch of forms in a single go. So I'll go to create form. Okay, and let's say this is what we can say, it's a lead generation form. So let's call it as a product lead generation form, and I can see there is some auto population happening in the name and path, and I'll stick to form as a display as of now, for now. Okay, and then in the type form, type I'll stick to form, not as a resource. And then what is this? Make this form public. You are designing, very good, excellent, but are you completed with the designing? No, right? But if you want to leave the work now and you want to continue tomorrow, what you will do? You will simply do save. Okay, so you don't want the this form to be available as public. That's where you do checkbox and uncheck. So if you don't want the public this to be available to be public, you will stay unchecked. Okay, so here now I can see there is a basic fields, advanced, layout, data, premium, all such fields are available. So the first, let's start with maybe text field, where I'm going to say can you please enter your name, and yeah, I'm going to let everything remain as it is, but I can see I have some default values, data, validations, and yeah, there was custom default value, calculated value. This is what we can say, derived value. I can write my own scripting as well. So we are going to explore all this in detail, step by step, in a dedicated video, not in this overview video. Okay, so yeah, this is what conditional rendering, or we can see when we can use this conditional, maybe in terms of rendering, or we can say to decide if the next attributes whether to be shown or not. Like if it is a role selected one, show me this fields. If the role selected is 2, show me the different set of fields. Overall we'll keep it simple as of now. just save it, and then name, and then okay, let's say I want your let's go. I think yeah, this much is fine. Next we'll have advanced where I'm asking them for the email, and yeah, for now just save it, and then phone number. Okay, perfect. And then what else can we use? Yeah, I don't want, okay, survey signature. Okay, we can try, give a try to all of them, but as of now we'll see. In the layout I see HTML content columns, fields. Okay, so I see all the elements which I can use for grouping, like sections or articles. And then data, if I see, okay, so here again I can see tree hierarchy. Yeah, we will give it a try. I think this is very interesting, so we'll give it a try in different of our use cases. And then the premium, okay, so we have captcha, resources, file nested form, all such things are available. So this, if I try to use it, it is visible, but if I try to use it, I cannot make functional use of it. Okay, so just to get the knowledge that these are available, but that I can use only in the premium version. So let's try to add few more attributes. Okay, let's try to add go to basic, add one more field for job title, and save. Okay, now let's try to create about, in general we see, right, how did they hear about us. So we'll create a question called how did they hear about us. So there could be multiple options, right? So we should select boxes. So I'll go here and I will say this is your question, and in the data let's try to give some options. So I can say did you find it by searching, or add another, I can say did you find it on social media. Alright, let's give few more options. Did you find it via some referral, or did you find it via some advertisements? And finally, which we should always follow, is other option. So let's give the final as well, and let's see the default value. Let's select search value, and this is how it is going to look like. So we'll just save it, and we have this. If let's try to add just a text area, um, and we'll add one more question. Let's call it out like maybe describe about your needs. Okay, and yeah, we can add more customizations here, but as of now I am fine. And finally, let's add some radio button as well, just to see how it looks like. And we are going to say let's ask maybe your preferred method of contact. We'll add the question here, but again the options we need to give in data. So either we'll say email, whether you want email, which we'll select as a default value. Let's add phone number also. Okay, yeah, I think that is sufficient to understand how it works. Okay, and finally we have submit button here, and yeah, if I click on it, and I can move it up and down, but we'll follow the standards. So we are good with the form, right? You understood how we are going to create it, and we are done with the form change. So I'll just make it as a public, because I don't want to come back and do it again. I'm done actually. Save and preview. So as of now I am in the design form, and there is some validation error. So what is that validation error? Project, the name must be unique per project. This also will correct it, and this is name. Save and preview. So we can see now we are done with the stage called design flow. Now we are into associated this form with the workflow. So if I scroll down, this is my form, just to show the sample. Now we'll say next. Now when we say next, we are on to the next stage, where we can select workflow, and as of now in the drop down I can see only one workflow. Okay, I can create workflow and upload, but as of now I am simply using the existing one. Okay, so once I'm okay, yeah, so what is happening in the workflow? As soon as someone submits the flow, the workflow is going to start. This is the start task, and this is an automated task, and this is the end task. So we'll see this in the Camunda in a minute, but overall, yeah, I am associating it with the default flow, and let's say maybe we can use it for the logging purpose or cleaning purpose. Next, now as of now I don't want to create any variable. If you want, you can create, just select add and create, then click on next. And once I can see the form is created and it is associated with the workflow, I'm just giving a final review, and I'm going to publish this as well. So I'm going to check box this. Why is it optional? Because if it is not optional, though I approve it, it is not visible to the client, and I can ask few more members to approve it as well. Okay, up to us. Now here you can see whether we want everyone or is there any specific client group. This is what one of the limitations we were talking about, which is not available in the other platforms but available here. So now I'll go and click on save. So I can see there is lead generation form available, and that's all we are going to do as of now. We have admins and processes. Now this is all available because I am a designer as of this moment. So I can see here these are the workflows that are available, but I can create new by clicking on this, or I'll just create in my local modeler and then I'll choose file and upload it. Okay, so that is all we are going to do in the designer. I'm going to log out. Now I'm going to log in as a client. Let's see how we can fill the form and how it goes. So Formsflow hyphen client and change me. I'm going to sign in. Formsflow, yeah, the username is wrong, and change me, sign in. Okay, perfect. So you can see the role here, I'm a client as of now. Okay, so what is forms and applications? I see form is something which is available to me as a client. If I click on this, the only option that I can is submit new, but for the designer it was create a new one or edit an existing form. Okay, and before I submit, let's see what is application. So as of now, I can see there was previously created a form which was submitted. So what is application here is, for every application or every time that you submit a work, every time that you submit a form, a workflow is initiated, right? So that's why each request we are calling it as a application, whether it is associated with one workflow or whether you are filling each application 10 times. For every request, one workflow is going to associate it. That's why for each request there is an application ID. So let's go to form and submit a new, and we'll call it as a dpoint yt@gmail.com, and then we can add more validation going forward. As of now, not adding YouTuber, and let's say I'm selecting multiples, and then this is let's say overview is going on, and you can contact me via email itself, and I'll submit. Okay, so I can see submission is saved, and I can go to applications to view myself. So I can see there is this filter available where I can say this is the form that is filled and it is assigned with the application ID 3. I'll view what are all details that I filled, and the second thing is this everything can be exported. Now how do I export it? So if I go back once again, yeah, so here there are few options are available like export to PDF. So there are many such features which are available just by saying toggle true or toggle false, just by changing the configuration to 0 and 1. Okay, so as of now we are not turning on any toggle, just to show this is how it is going to work, and we have an option to export as well. Okay, so that was surface level of what we can do with the Formsflow.ai, the forms module. Okay, now this, if I go to next module, which is monitoring purpose, so here I can see I can create my own dashboard. So this is the Redash UI which is already integrated, and we can write our own query, we can create our monitoring and everything. So the best part is I need not to spend time on moving to any other platform for different purpose. All the purpose it's in the same platform. Okay, next this is the key cloak. So this is what it is going to help us with all the security management, authentication, authorization, user management, group management. Okay, so next we have Camunda. So here we can use the same forms flow hyphen designer and change me and login. Okay, I can see as of now there are two process definitions that are available, and there is one data Bpmn. We are going to create and deploy and use it going forward in a dedicated module. But yeah, so let's say the workflow that we had associated is only having the automated task as of now, but if it had a manual task, then how the assigned person can get to know? They can simply go to task list and they can see what is the work, or what is it that I need to approve, or what is the task that I need to work on. They can simply open it and work on it. So that is what we are getting, all the modules integrated, all available to us. And yeah, so this is a page where you can see how to install and all, but this is just one option. And I would suggest wait for the next module where I'm going to show you different options, all that is available. Then you can decide which one is going to be more relevant and easy. Overall, if you don't want to do deployment, you want them to do, they can do it for us, just how I have showed earlier. Just reach out to them, and depends on what is the requirement, and depends on what is the customization that you want or the requirement level that you want. Overall, that is what. And do refer this product packages where you can see what is the premium cloud, open source. So we have seen just the surface level differences, the attribute levels, uploading multiple forms at a time, having the dedicated client support, having them to do everything, be it customization, the product as per your application, hosting, running the application for us. It depends on us. Okay, it's customer to customer, it is varying. And then definitely spend time on this, and then you decide what you want me to work on and put it in the comment sections. I'll just take a look at the comments, and whichever is getting more votes, I'll take that use cases. If there is something conflicted, I'll take my call of what use case to show in real time. Okay, and then we can see the training is provided, consulting services there, and you can get quick started. If nothing, you can also use GitHub open source to get your hands dirty. And then definitely spend your time on this architecture and be active on the community and the GitHub release pages also, you can refer. So that's all about the tool. But before coming out of this alternative universe, we are going to complete the set of playlists where we are going to see installation options, different use cases, different modules. We are going to do analysis, we are going to do we are going to see how to maintain the security, how easy it is to create the interactive forms, and like using complex data, how we can write the scripting, how we can create the derivative attributes, and all such integrations we are going to see. So let me know if you are excited about it or not. And that's all for today. Hope you have a good day ahead. Do subscribe the channel. I see 90% of the viewers are not subscribers, only 10% are. And do follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and yeah, be active in the comment section. Let's learn this tool, use it in our daily use case, and we'll jump on to more modules going forward. Thank you.